Yo, what up, though, man? Mr. E in the building, man. A producer, movie producer, what you call it? Producer, executive, extraordinaire?
Man, right now, just sticking with Mr. E.
Mr. E, just Mr. E. That covers everything.
Yeah, director every now and then, but Mr. E.
I got you, man. Mr. E, man, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm cool, man. Cool and groovy like drive-in movie.
Hey, man, I feel it, man. You know what I'm saying? Again, this me right now. I've been hitting the ground lately, getting my Dallas hip-hop or just the whole background of the hip-hop industry in Dallas has been crazy, man. Like, are you Dallas born and raised?
Dallas born and raised.
Man, like, growing up here in Dallas, man, like, what's some of the groups here when it come to hip-hop, man, that, like, really inspired you?
Most of the groups that inspired me is the groups that I kind of came up around, and we was kind of doing the music together. So, of course, I had to give it to Pookie and Lucci and Gator, Rally Boys, Cotton and Jizz knowing them, and, Dallas Most Dangerous and Nemesis, Snake and them. Man, it's Pimpster. Man, that list go on.
You know what? And a lot of those names, honestly, being around the music in Dallas for a little bit, like the Pimpsters and the Gator Man and
Gator Man, yeah, shout out to him from the hood.
Those never came on my radar until I started doing the interviews, and then those names start popping up a lot. Like I did Al Jabbar, son of one of the members in Nemesis. You know what I'm saying?
Straight up.
It was dope, man. So like, the world has changed a lot, man. How has COVID? Has COVID slowed you down, or has it been a pandemic for you, as some people may say?
Pandemic. You know what? I did double up and double downs, a little bit in the pandemic. The bag got a little bit better for me in the pandemic. I ain't gonna lie about that. But what it really did is it bought me time to really work on the script.
Got you.
Like work on the script and work on just like the pre-production part of the movie. And, so it was cool for me.
Okay, so like let's talk about the movie, and then we'll get to the journey to where you got to. I kind of like want to start where we are now, because like right now you're working on a film that's coming out soon,
right?
And tell everybody about that film.
Okay, it's called the Triple D Revenge, and it's actually a sequel. It's part 2 of a movie that I came out with me and Walt Hollis about 5 or 6 years ago.
Okay,
called the Triple D Movie. So that's kind of the way it started. And basically it picks up where the last one left off, and I don't want to make a spoiler alert. I don't want to spoil it for people that ain't seen the first one. But the bottom line is it's about a dude that's born and raised in the streets. He goes to a funeral and encounters the news that his cousin was murdered by a notorious drug lord.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? And so once he makes his discovery, now he's got to try to figure out how to get close to try to get justice. And not only does he have a journey where he's trying to get close to the drug lord, but he also got to figure out if it's really worth it, if it's worth revenge, and if it's worth him getting revenge, or if it's worth him just leaving it to justice.
I know a lot of people excited. I remember when for Triple D Revenge, when the flyer kind of dropped, and everyone saw the actors on there, Mo3. On there, rest in peace.
May you rest in peace. Tell
me the casting process when it comes to Triple D Revenge. Like, how do you choose who makes your movies?
When we did the first Triple D movie, I did mostly rappers, and I wanted to do something different.
Okay.
So, I just really got tuned into the characters that was part of the movie, and then I started to seek out actors. I had Mo3. He was the one premier artist that was in the movie, because I kind of wanted to keep it still all the way Triple D,
Gotcha.
But for the most part, I reached out to some actors personally, and then we also did like a casting call in Dallas and Fort Worth, and it was a pretty cool little journey,
I got you. Talking about Mo3, like, what was your relationship like with Mo3, and what type of impression did he leave on you?
The relationship I had with Mo3 in the beginning was through Rainwater, because Rainwater brought Mo3 to me some years back during like the Triple D movie days.
Gotcha.
Shout out to Rainwater, by the way. And so I reached out to Mo3 after we did the first Triple D movie. I was like, yo, I want you part of the second one. And this is before all the big records and all that. And he was like, shit, I'm with it. He was already developing a buzz, but he wasn't nearly as big as he is now.
Gotcha.
So he was like, yeah, man, he was like, I'll do it. So I reached out to him about a year later, and I just knew that wasn't gonna work. Cause by then he had already, he built a lot of momentum as an artist, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, yeah, he gonna be too busy. And he really surprised me because I have a rule where, especially like my main actors, supporting role, all that, you have to know how to act.
Gotcha.
Because Hollywood won't respect it otherwise. So the bottom line is, I knew that Mo3 wasn't an actor, but me and my associate director, Jamal, shout out to him, we really worked on his acting ability, and that journey was pretty good too.
So when you say he worked on his acting abilities, when he first tried to do the lines, like what were some things that Key's like, hey, okay, let's coach him up?
Well, to be honest with you, acting is a very acute skill set to begin with.
Okay.
So I can't say that I expected a whole lot, but what I saw in 3 was potential, which he had a lot of. So I had no doubt about it that he was gonna bust it wide open. And he did his thing, but of course, when he's first starting, he got bad habits and he got this depiction of how people think acting should be. So what we have to do is reprogram him and start teaching him how to approach the role, how to approach the character, how to approach the script and all that. And overall, man, he did excellent. I was happy about it.
So, cause I might one day debut in some acting, when I get in shape, man. But
right on.
What are some of those mistakes, common mistakes that people who never acted before that get a chance that they make, that they have to unlearn?
That's a good question, man. Black people especially, a lot of times we had a tendency to be super dramatic, right? Be super dramatic to try to sell that we can act and all that type of stuff. And that's one of the first mistakes, because it's not about being dramatic. It's just about making it authentic and really understanding what the tendencies of your character and what your character would do.
Got you.
Yeah.